I have nothing to do with what they do to me. I'm gonna leave that alone. But I work for nothing. I'll get up at 4 in the
Miss
morning.
Ware, Miss
Yes,
Ware,
ma'am.
Miss Ware, this is not the opportunity for you to just go on a rant, ma'am.
Yes. Sorry. I didn't do anything wrong.
Okay, Miss Ware, just give us a
My daddy
second.
was a police officer.
Miss
for
Ware,
25 years.
Miss Ware, seriously, if
Yes.
you do that again, I'm gonna hold you in contempt. Stop it.
I'm not accusing Mr. Bell of anything. I'm just saying he's been ill and not been available.
No,
So-
I'm just letting you know that I'm trying to
Mr.
comply,
Bell,
and in the
Mr.
future I
Bell,
will.
Mr. Bell,
Ma'am,
please stop.
I was just trying to be supportive.
Mr.
so-
Bell.
Today was an interesting day in Judge Washington's court. Here are the highlights.
Court will call the case of Ypsilanti Township versus Teresa Ware, 23T00285, as well as 22T00694.
Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
Assistant Public Defender Chinaza Carey, I can really, Your Honor, on behalf of Miss Teresa Ware.
Hi,
Please state your name, ma'am.
Teresa Ware.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We're here for pretrial in 22T00694 and 285.
Okay, so this bench warrant was recalled. Judge, we have not,
Can
did you say one moment, Your Honor?
I say something, please?
No, I did
Can
not
I
say
say
one.
something?
And not yet, Ms. Ware.
Okay.
Judge, we're asking for an adjournment in this matter. I think we just received notice that Ms. Ware was just recently released from the hospital. We hadn't been able to contact her after we got the bench warrant.
Wait a minute. I gotta tell you, I was in jail too.
Okay. But she,
And I was supposed to be in court that day, and the police came, the Ipsy police and the Washington police came, said I had a nationwide on your side. Didn't do nothing wrong. I was at home holding my baby, grandbaby, and they came and the Ipsy police came and put me in jail. I was in jail and they released me, and I had took care of that because I had my granddaughter, a case on her, and they didn't read me my rights. And I went to jail for trying to help her because she wanted to dance. She 18 years old. She don't even want her baby. I take care of my great-grandbaby.
Ma'am,
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
in jail because you failed to appear at a pretrial on March 30th.
I was in the hospital.
You
And
have
I
to
knew I
notify
had
the
to go
court
to
of that.
court, and they put me in the hospital because I was trying to get my check, and they did me wrong. I hadn't had no money in 2 months, and they did some stuff to me, but that's okay. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna let God take care of that. I have nothing to do with what they do to me. I'm gonna leave that alone. But I work for nothing. I'll get up at 4 in the
Ms.
morning.
Ware, Ms.
Yes,
Ware,
ma'am.
Ms. Ware, this is not the opportunity for you to just go on a rant, ma'am.
Yes. Sorry.
All right.
So, Your Honor, it looks like she is in the courtroom, so we'll just be asking for a brief adjournment. I'll ask her to stick around and at least come in and speak with us so that we can know how she'd like to proceed on this matter.
Yes, ma'am. I didn't do anything wrong.
Okay, Ms. Ware, just give us a
My daddy
second.
was a police officer.
Ms.
for
Ware.
25 years.
Ms. Ware, seriously, if you
Yes.
do that again, I'm gonna hold you in contempt. Stop it.
And that's no good.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Pretrial in this matter is adjourned to May 15th, 2023 at 9 a.m. Bond is continued. Ms. Ware, you need to go. Are you coming out to get her, sending someone out to get her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Ware, if you could please stay right there so that they can come get you. We're gonna give you a notice too, but they're gonna come get you so they can talk to you and you can explain all of your issues to them at that time, okay?
Thank you, and God bless you, and have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Thank
Bye-bye.
you very much. Have a good day.
You too,
I
ma'am.
can go? Just
You can
sit
go.
out here?
Well, one moment. Yes,
Okay.
go ahead. We'll send you your notice, okay? You're gonna be back here what day?
May 15, right?
Yes, that's correct. See
At
you
9
then.
o'clock,
All right.
right?
All right, at 9 o'clock. All right,
Okay.
thank you. Bye.
Yes, ma'am. See you later. Take care of
Bye.
yourself. Take care of yourself.
You too.
All right.
The state of Michigan versus Chester Bell, 22S00909, as well as 22S00951.
Rachel McDuffie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Nancy Carey, I can rule, Your Honor, on behalf of Chester Bell. Mr. Bell, can you state your name for the record?
Chester Bell,
Thank you. Good morning.
morning.
All right, we're here for a pretrial today.
I believe so.
Correct.
Your Honor, so Mr. Bell has been on our docket for quite some time, and I think that on his first appearance on the docket, with me being on the docket, I had indicated to defense counsel that I wasn't prepared to really address a potential offer until we sort of sorted out his bond violation status, to figure out, he was hospitalized for a while. So I just didn't have a clear sense of where he was and what types of things we needed to account for within an offer. Since that time, we've gone back and forth a bit more with that, where Mr. Bell was required to report for his scram tether, and a court ordered him to get a 10-panel drug test in that same day, but he was unable to get the scram tether and said that he was once again in hospital. So I don't think he ever did get that 10-panel, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually,
Hold on,
what
Mr.
happened?
Bell. Let her finish.
Sorry.
So he may have. I'm just saying that I don't at this point I don't have a current, I guess, sense of where things are. So given that, I'm kind of right back where I was in terms of needing to get a better sense of what the status is here. So I do not have an offer prepared for Mr. Bell today, because we're kind of still coming back with him coming back from the hospital.
So, I think she's correct. He never got the 10-panel done.
I did, Your Honor. The
You
same
did?
day I got my tether. And they said that if you don't hear from them, then you pass. And I never heard from them. And that was on you know what? I don't think I have the date exactly available, but I've been wearing this tether now for like about
Looks like
a
April.
week and a half or so, or something.
Agent Casey emailed us and said that Mr. Bell reported for a scram. The email was on April 4th, so somewhere around that time, but I just don't have an updated report.
There was one day that I come in, they told me to come in to get the scram. And I went in there and the computer wasn't working. So they couldn't do my tether. And so he asked me to come back the next morning. And so I did. And I came back the next morning before noon is what he told me. So I come in about 11.
Sir,
Yes,
we're not talking about the scram right now. I want to know if you got the panel.
I understand, Your
test
Honor.
done.
I understand, Your Honor. I'm just letting you know that the next day when I got the scram tether actually put on successfully, then I hung around until I had to use the restroom, and then I provided the sample. And I never
Thank you.
received a call back.
Okay, one
and-
second, Mr. Bell, please.
Yeah, sorry.
Miss Straub, are you there?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Could you tell me if you could check to see what his results were from his
I just pulled it up and it looks like he did test on 4/4, and it was clear.
Thank you. So what would you like for us to do at this time, Ms. McDuffie? Thank you so much, Ms. Straub.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. So given that, I need to sort of take an accounting of everything that has happened so far to figure out. So I don't have enough prepared today. I am requesting an adjournment, and we can say that's on behalf of the people. But we kind of went around a bit with hospitalization, so we haven't really had them stable.
I've tried to be as compliant as I can with you guys. So to my knowledge, I've done everything that you've asked. So if there's anything else that you guys need, you can always just reach out to me, and I'll try to do it as fast as I can for you. That's all I can do for you.
I'm not accusing Mr. Bell of anything. I'm just saying he's been ill and not been available.
No,
So-
I'm just letting you know that I'm trying to
Mr.
comply,
Bell,
and in the
Mr.
future I
Bell,
will.
Mr. Bell,
Ma'am,
please stop.
I was just trying to be supportive.
Mr.
so-
Bell,
Don't make me grate your ass.
how long do you need, Ms. McDuffie?
Just 2 weeks, Your Honor, at the most.
Any objection, Ms. Kyriakarilla?
No objection, Judge.
May 1st, 2023 at 9 a.m. Bond is continued. We'll see you on May 1st, Mr. Bell.
May I check my calendar real quick? I might have a doctor's appointment. Is that all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I can do it right here on my phone. Just give me 1 second.
Many unbearable hours later.
Well, Your Honor, I may be wrong, but I think that date is fine.
All right, thank you, sir. We'll see you then.
Sorry that I got on your nerves.
It's okay, Mr. Bell. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Joshua, court call case of State of Michigan versus Joshua Simpson, 22 FB 1188.
Rachel McDuffie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Melissa Klayman on behalf of Joshua Simpson. And can you unmute and state your name for the record, please?
Mr. Simpson, are you there? Mr. Simpson?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Please state your name.
Joshua Simpson.
Thank you. All right, we're here for a review in this case. It's your first review, sir. It looks like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You've got 29 sessions in so far in the domestic violence classes.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you learning anything in those classes, sir?
Yeah, I'm learning a lot. Stop dealing with certain females.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's the only thing you learned in that class?
I mean, basically, if
You didn't learn anything about yourself in that class?
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, mostly, like, stop dealing with certain females that get you in trouble, you know?
Did your own behavior have anything to do with you getting in trouble?
Yeah, it did. But it wasn't just me. It's always two people. It always takes two people, you know what I'm saying? So, but I know it was my fault for being in here.
Well, I can tell you, you're a first. I don't think I've heard anyone say that since I've asked them how the classes are going, what they're learning.
Cause I still.
How many classes do you have there?
I think I got like 56, but it's just like
no, that's how many you have to do.
Right.
Hopefully by the time you get to like 40 something, you'll say something different when I ask you this question and mean it.
I mean, I'm saying I'm learning a lot, but it's just like, just stop dealing with certain females that's going.
Well, the fact that you're even saying it that way is problematic. Certain females.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about a lot in that class. If you would have took the class, you'll understand it.
Huh. Wow.
Yeah.
Which class is he in? I'm not certain he's learning anything in any of these classes.
I am learning.
I must be one of those certain females.
Nah.
Based on the way you're talking to me right now.
No. You taking it the wrong way, man.
No, I'm taking it exactly how you said it. You also haven't been making any payments on your fines and costs. When can you start doing that?
I was on probation. I was on probation at 2 other places except for this one. Well, in this one, so that was 3. I just got discharged last Friday from one of my probations, so I had to pay them off.
That answers the question of what you did before now. My question was, when can you start making payments?
I don't know. I don't have a job right now. I haven't had a job really. I broke my arm in 2007.
You paid off a different probation. You haven't had a job, but you paid off a different probation.
Can I finish, ma'am?
You can answer my question.
What's the question?
When can you start making payments?
I don't know. I don't have a job right now.
All right. I want to see you here in person.
Oh my God.
May 1st, 2023 at 10 a.m. in person. See if you can answer my questions at that time.
I answered your question.
You want to be held in contempt today?
I'm just saying, you just said I can answer your question. I answered your question.
Sir, come here on May 1st, and we'll see if you have the same too. All right, the 14B District Court is back in session. At this point, we're back on the record in the Kevin Stevenson matter. All right, Ms. McDuffie, I believe you wanted to make a motion on the record.
That's correct, Your Honor. Mr. Stevenson is being held on a few different things, not just this case, but Mr. Stevenson previously had 2 domestic violence related cases with the same victim involved in this matter. And in the course of resolving those proceedings, Mr. Stevenson presented an astonishing number of jail calls, where he had pending contempt proceedings as well. Actually 576 attempts, 210 completed calls, which included a lot of interference and threatening behavior. In that case, we did agree not to pursue contempt when he took the plea in that case.
Really?
Those jail calls of this victim have continued over to this matter. This was previously charged as a felony, and there's contact with that victim before and after the preliminary exam. Mr. Stevenson has also used 11 different inmates' accounts to contact her as well. And I don't even know that that's an effort to hide his identity, because he kind of alternates between his account and theirs. So, but he clearly has some trouble following the court's orders. The people are going to ask that Mr. Stevenson's phone privileges be revoked, because he just doesn't seem to be able to not do this. while these cases are pending. He is being held, to my knowledge, without bond due to the violation of probation on those other two cases. So that's the people's request. I don't know what's even possible to remedy this situation given the extent of it, but I wished at the time, and I wish that we could trust Mr. Stevenson to just do what he needs to do to get these cases resolved and follow court orders, but I don't think that he's able to.
Thank you.
Judge, in regards to the people's request, I was trying to see if there was anything in the file in regards to that. We don't have any information in regards to any cases or any calls that were made while this particular case was ongoing or in relation to this case. So I would be asking that the court deny that request simply because the court who's overseeing whichever case those calls were made during the time frame of that the people has presented. I understand we had a discussion and she discussed the calls and the contempt hearing in that particular court. However, there has not been anything given to us during this case to show that these calls were made while this particular case were pending or during this time frame. We understand the people's concern. I think that there is a plan in place right now for Mr. Stevenson. When he and I spoke, we did discuss how he would be resolving that potential violation hearing. There was an offer for him to plead and request that he be released to treatment. It looks like Mr. Stevenson is on board with that particular request. In regards to this particular case, we would be asking that it be set for final settlement conference and that the court not prohibit his phone usage at this time until the people can bring concrete evidence that there has been an abuse of those particular privileges.
And I will correct that. I'm not correct that, Your Honor, but I do understand. I just looked it up. I saw Mr. Stevenson's name and just immediately checked this just this morning. So I understand that obviously, you don't have that information. I'm forwarding those reports right now. So you should have them in the next 2 minutes. But just so the court's aware.
Thank you. His phone privileges are revoked in the other court, correct?
Your Honor, I don't believe they are because our agreement when he took the plea in that matter was that I would not be pursuing contempt charges based on those calls. Mr. Stevenson actually had at one point permission to have consensual contact, but that was violated as well as his bond being revoked, obviously with this new case with the same victim, because that contact was not consensual at the time. So there's no revocation of phone privileges that ever applied to the 1482 matters.
Thank you. I'm going to set these matters for May 25th, 2023, 11 a.m. for final settlement conference and June 2nd, 2023 at 9 a.m. for jury selection. I will also schedule on May 1st, 2023 at 10:30 a.m. bond hearing regarding the phone calls.
You said what about the phone calls?
I'm going to review the prosecutor's documentation, and at that point in time on May 1st, 2023, I'll see if there are any violations of any of this court's orders with respect to bond.
All right, thank you.
And by this court, I mean starting January 20th. Well, let's see here. When do you believe that?
February 17th.
I'm sorry, what now?
I came into jail February 17th.
Is that when the no contact began?
He wasn't arraigned, I think, until the 24th, if I'm not mistaken. But he did get booked on the 17th. I think it's a few days later, possibly.
Right, but did the no contact begin then?
That's what I'm saying. I think it's on the 24th, a few days later. Let me just verify the date.
Because you indicated that at one point he did have the ability to contact her. So I'm just trying to figure out when that was revoked.
That was when his bond was, yes, Your Honor, when his bond was revoked, I think when these new charges were communicated to the other court. So this is, whoops, that's the wrong one. Some other cases.
Hold on, Mr. Stevenson.
Yeah, I need to talk.
He was arraigned on February 24th. on this case. So he would have gotten the bond conditions at that time. And I don't have any record. I did check. I don't have any record that there was consensual contact in this case.
Right, it says no contact as of February 24. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
I'm gonna call you. Thank you. Am I good to go?
Yes, you are, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, God, that was horrible.